You're watching the Community MMA.
Now coming at UFC 283, Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. That's the main event. You know in our prediction we got Jamal Hill barely. Flyweight title, Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. I can't remember who I predict to win this fight, but every time I predicted this one, I think I was wrong. So maybe got one of the first 3 or 4 fights right. Gilbert Burns versus Neil Magny. I like that matchup. Gilbert Burns wins in my opinion. You got Lauren Murphy versus Jessica Andrade, 4 versus 6 in the flyweight division. Both fighters trying to get back to a title fight with Shevchenko. And the light heavyweight division, you got Shogun Rua taking on Ihor Potieria. Shogun Rua in his last fight of his professional career, or so he says right now. And you got some other big fights at UFC 283. Let's get into a couple predictions today. First, you got Thiago Moises. Check this out. In the lightweight division at UFC 283, you got Thiago Moises, the Brazilian, taking on Guram Kutateladze. Both guys are worthy opponents, obviously. 16-6 Moises, Guram 12-3. Had some setbacks, but he's going to come in here ready to go. He's 5'11 compared to the 5'9 Moises, so 2-inch height advantage. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand right-handed. Now, significant strikes per minute goes to Guram, 3.8 compared to 2.5. But the takedown advantage goes to Moises, who lands like 1 every 3 rounds. Guram, not much to talk about there, but so neither guy is high level trying to get to the fight to the ground a lot, but it could happen. Now, Moises 60% takedown defense. He's coming off the win over Christos Giagos by submission. So he's coming in with a win behind him after suffering 2 losses before that. Now, on the other hand, Guram, 77% takedown defense. So that evens things, gives him the advantage on the feet. He's coming off the loss to Damir Ismagulov, but he did beat Mateusz Gamrot by split decision. Controversial decision, too, because he trailed by 15 significant strikes, and it was 5 takedowns to none. So we'll see if he can bounce back here. Thiago Moises, though, finds ways to win, but Guram is going to defend the takedowns well, lands more significant strikes. I think this is a tough test for Moises, and he doesn't pass it. Guram's going to win here with the takedown defense and significant strikes by decision. He's good at getting decision wins. He'll move to 13-3, lightweight division, UFC 283. Yeah, so we got Guram winning this one, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, that's going to be a highly interesting fight. Down in the prelims, 15-fight card. It's ridiculous. Kutateladze finds ways to win decisions, though, like against Mateusz Gamrot. He was taken down 5 times and trailed by 15 significant strikes, and somehow he got a split decision. So when the judges are giving guys like that a decision in fights they lost, you got to think if he can just get it to a decision, maybe he does something right during the fight, that even when he trails in the stats, he still gets the win. So we're going with Guram to beat Thiago in that one. And then you got another interesting one here down in the prelims with Jailton Almeida, who went up to heavyweight and has been beating people. But this is going to be a tougher fight for him as he works his way up the ladder. Here's Jailton Almeida at 283. In the heavyweight division at UFC 283, you got Shamil Abdurakhimov taking on Jailton Almeida, who's perfect so far in the UFC. Now, Abdurakhimov 20-7, Almeida 17-2 over a pretty good stretch of his MMA career, but he's undefeated in the UFC right now. Both guys 6'3". Almeida has a 3-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand right-handed. Now, when you look at the activity between these two, that's Jailton Almeida's strength, right? He's a guy that fought at light heavyweight. He's moved up. He's going to be a little quicker. He lands about 3.6 significant strikes per minute compared to Shamil's 2.6. So big difference there. He also lands about 7.2 takedowns over 3 rounds, or to be more exact, over 2 per round in about 4 or 5 UFC fights. Shamil 1.1. So Almeida has the advantage here, but what if Shamil Abdurakhimov ties him up, catches him? He's going to have the weight advantage for sure, but he's lost to Sergey Pavlovich, who's turned out to be an excellent fighter. By first-round knockout, he lost to Chris Daukaus, another good fighter, by second-round knockout, and Curtis Blades, obviously a very good fighter, by second-round knockout. So it makes it hard to make a decision here, because before that, against guys he probably should beat, he beat. And some good ones, Marcin Tybura, Andrei Arlovsky, and Chase Sherman. So this will be the toughest fight so far for Jailton Almeida since he's moved up. Now he's coming off the win over Anton Turkal by submission, Parker Porter, submission, Danilo Marquez, KO, and Nasrudinov by submission. But none of these guys are at the caliber of Shamil Abdurakhimov's opponents. That's what makes the prediction tough. He's also got a 50% takedown defense. That's not very good. And, he'll do fine as he comes up here in the heavyweight division as long as he doesn't get taken down. So that's what you got to figure out here. And I think, yes, he's not going to get taken down. He's going to defend the takedowns well by, a lot of speed and being aggressive and shooting for takedowns of his own. He gets his opponent tied up or on the ground with a takedown, this fight is over. If you keep it standing, he's much quicker too. So I'm just going to bank on the fact that Jailton Almeida will not get caught. He'll be quicker until they find someone that can keep up with his speed. He's going to keep winning. He'll win this one. In my opinion, by submission, first or second round, he'll catch Shamil Abdurakhimov to get the win to move to 18-2. Impressive record. It's a 90% win percentage here in the heavyweight division at UFC 283. Yeah, and I'm banking on the fact that Almeida bulks up, right? He's had almost a year now, maybe a little more in the heavyweight division. He moved up from light heavyweight and has performed really well, but he's beaten people he should. And so does Shamil. He beats people he should. So we're not going to know till this fight takes place. Nothing in the stats indicate that this fight will go one way or the other, especially when Jailton Almeida has limited heavyweight action. So far, his speed has been his advantage. He takes guys down, ground and pound, and gets the win. So we'll bank on that continuing here in this fight